riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. Here's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me, as always, co-host extraordinaire, Kramer to my Jerry, Timothy Richardson. Tim, how you doing, buddy?
I'm pretty pumped up this week, friend.
I bet you are. We, of course, are coming at you with another Prepisode this week. We start things off with analyzing a single. Tim, what is that single today?
This week, we are talking about Buckcherry's Crazy Bitch, released January 31st, 2006.
Fantastic. And Tim and I flirted with doing this entire album, or at least an album by Buckcherry, but after a great deal of deliberation, we decided, who cares? So Tim, I gotta ask you right off the bat, do you hate this song?
I don't know, Garrett. I don't know. I want to hate it. It's so stupid. I've been singing it nonstop all week. Everyone that I've come into contact with for the past week does in fact hate this song. I've learned that one person in particular believes that I have been calling her a crazy bitch all week. She doesn't believe I'm singing a song from 2006.
I could see how she'd never heard of this song before. I'm a little surprised, Tim. I thought it would be an easy hate. You hear Crazy Bitch by Buckcherry and you think, oh, that song's terrible. It's Buckcherry, for God's sake. Surely Tim will hate it, but here we are. You're not sure. I'm excited to talk about it.
What about you? Did you hate this?
I don't know.
What?
I really don't know.
Oh, we're gonna get there together.
I'd rather not, but I'm curious. Is this the first time your bitch has been crazied?
Sort of. This is the first time I've ever heard the uncensored version of this song.
Really?
Yep. I do remember hearing this on the radio.
Do you recall, were there substituted lyrics for bitch and or fuck?
Nope, they were just dropped.
That's certainly not going to make this song better.
No, you really want a good basic cable thing. A good shut the front door.
Yo, crazy Mitch, but you.
What about you? Have you heard this before?
Yes, I had heard this song before, and truth be told, Tim, I had ulterior motives for wanting to do this song this week beyond it just likely not being a very good song in general. I'll explain why I wanted to do this a little later on in the episode. But suffice it to say, yes, I had heard the song before. It's not the only Buckcherry I'm familiar with. Some of you might be old enough to recall they did have another hit song called Lit Up from 1999, I think. And I would hear that randomly on the radio about as often as I heard this on the radio until I stumbled upon something online that forced me, Tim, to bring it to our attention on this show.
Right.
So yeah, that's your history. That's my history. Tim, take us on a small journey on the history of Buckcherry.
Buckcherry was originally formed in Anaheim, California in 1995 by vocalist and possible nephew of Hans Gruber, Josh Todd Gruber.
No, Hans Gruber's not.
He was known professionally as Josh Todd. I guess he changed his name after the Nakatomi incident.
Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah, and guitarist Keith Nelson. They met through a tattoo artist they apparently had in common, so it's another story like John and Paul or Lou Pearlman in A Series of Boys.
No, Lou Pearlman, Tim, in all fairness, Lou Pearlman put an ad in the paper and those boys came to him.
That's true. It was the boys' fault.
And that is why we do not have the printed word anymore.
Lou Pearlman did ruin it for everyone.
Brought down an entire industry.
They got a drummer and a bassist. I did not even bother to write their names down. They played around Hollywood and recorded some demos under the name Sparrow. They eventually got signed to DreamWorks, so thanks a lot David Geffen, Jeff Katzenberg, and Steven Spielberg. But then they got a cease and desist letter from EMI, who apparently owned the word Sparrow, and they had to change their name to Buckcherry. It's unclear if that's a reference to a drag queen friend of the band who went by that name, if it's stolen from the stage name of an 80s guitarist, or if it's some sort of unfortunate spoonerism of Chuck Berry. But whatever the case, it's not a great name.
No, not really. I hope it is what was it? Transvestite?
Drag queen.
Drag queen. That doesn't seem more sensitive.
Nope.
I hope it's the drag queen one. Because that seems
it's the
cool.
late 90s. People were saying drag queen.
I think we're still saying drag queen, Tim. Did you hear somebody got back to us on the Twitterverse there about transvestite? Yep. I was right. We're still okay.
I owe you a Coke. Anyway, in 1999, they released their self-titled debut to a weird amount of critical acceptance. They joined Lenny Kravitz on his 1999 tour, they played Woodstock 99, and then they released their sophomore album Time Bomb in 2001. Everyone hated that, and Buckcherry disbanded in 2002, hopefully never to be heard from again. Now, Josh Todd Gruber and Keith Nelson, they were almost in Velvet Revolver. They played with Slash and Duff from Guns N' Roses in a band called Cherry Roses, which went on to record 10 songs as the project before Slash and Duff decided to kick the Buckcherry guys out and get Scott Weiland to sing. So Scott Weiland, huge step up from these guys.
I agree. They do seem like a poor man Scott Weiland, at least not on H. Scott Weiland, because we've seen that. I think Nelson ended up coming back on to produce several of the songs for Velvet Revolver, but if you ask Gruber, he's just like, it's crazy. We recorded 10 songs, and one day Slash came in and just said, we're not doing any of it. Well, that's not what happened. Everybody else kind of stuck around.
Yeah, Gruber did get a songwriting credit on a Velvet Revolver song out of that deal, though.
Which is something, I guess. I mean, would you like to be in Velvet Revolver? Yeah, probably, right? It's better than nothing.
Yeah, if I had to choose a band to be in, it wouldn't be that one, but I would like some of that sweet Velvet Revolver money.
I've seen Velvet Revolver.
I never got into them. It's one of those bands that I can appreciate. I think they're technically good, but I just don't care.
No, you're right not to. It's nostalgia rock for people that really wish that the 90s had kept going. Most of those songs lean closer to a Buckcherry sound than they do Guns N' Roses or Scott Weiland.
It's heavier, though. Josh also had a little acting career. He had a small appearance in The New Guy, Triple X, and Eagle Eye. You loved Eagle Eye, right?
I did. I loved Eagle Eye. Tim, quick question. What is Eagle Eye?
Don't pretend like you don't know what Eagle Eye is, Garrett. I've seen your DVD collection.
What is Eagle Eye?
It's right next to all seasons of Bones.
Every season of Bones, right? I love Bones and Eagle Eye.
That's right.
What is Bones? What is Eagle Eye?
Buckcherry got back together in 2005 and they made the album 15, which included Crazy Bitch, the song of the Prepisode. In 2008, Buckcherry toured with Trapped and Papa Roach as part of Motley Crue's Crew Fest, and they released their fourth album. 2010, they released their fifth studio album, and they released a Christmas single called Christmas Is Here, which I didn't listen to, but I'm 90% sure includes the word bitch. Right? It has to.
I want to do it as a bonus episode next Christmas.
You know what we're doing for Christmas, Garrett.
I know what we're doing for Christmas. I said a bonus episode.
Okay, that's fair.
In 2010, they also headlined a little festival known as Rocklahoma.
You love Rocklahoma.
What's more amazing, Tim, I did a little research, and in 2019, Buckcherry can be found at this year's Rocklahoma, alongside Seether, Disturbed, Bush, and Ace Frehley. No.
God, Ace Frehley wants to be back in Kiss.
I mean, we know how litigious Gene Simmons is. There's no fucking way he's allowed to do Kiss songs.
You remember whenever each one of them did their own solo album, but it was like a quadruple Kiss album? Do you think he's even allowed to play those songs?
I doubt it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Boy, I hope it's just Ace Frehley out there in the makeup, singing his part of the harmony on Rock and Roll All Night.
Sure, but it's different makeup, because that makeup is wholly owned by Gene Simmons.
That's true.
2013, Buckcherry releases their sixth studio album and a greatest hits album. Then in 2014, they released the Fuck EP. Now, Garrett, on the Fuck EP, the title of every song includes the word fuck, because
they're all 13.
Yes. 2015, they released their seventh studio album. 2017, Keith leaves, and now Josh Todd Gruber is the sole remaining original member of this band. So Josh Todd Gruber is Buckcherry now. Then in March 2019, Buckcherry / Josh Todd Gruber released Warpaint, their eighth studio album. Garrett, this is still a thing. How is this still a thing?
This is utterly shocking. I mean, we don't attend Rocklahoma every year.
Yeah, that's true. We only go on odd years because we know Buckcherry's not going to be there.
That's right.
Speaking of, we screwed up this year. It's an odd year. God damn it.
Come for the Buckcherry, stay for the Seether. But be sure to leave before Ace Frehley takes the stage. Fun side note, this was actually written in 2002, 4 years before it appeared on Buckcherry's 15.
Garrett?
What?
2002 is the year they joined Velvet Revolver. Is it possible this was their contribution to the Velvet Revolver first album?
Oh, that wouldn't shock me in the least. Allegedly, the lead singer called and sang the song to Nelson over the phone and was actually angry he didn't get his answering machine because he thought it'd be easier. They met up 2 days later and the song was already written.
You actually have a very similar thing. You love leaving voicemails. I've actually got a series of voicemails that I could release.
Please don't do that.
I'm going to do that, Garrett. That's going to be a bonus episode.
Tim,
Garrett, they're funny. Well, they're not funny. They're incriminating.
Well, they're not incriminating, but they are alarming.
Yes, I was alarmed.
They were meant to alarm you. You have them from like a decade ago.
Yeah, Garrett, in case any of the things that you threatened ever befall me, I need that voicemail.
Tim, at this point, I've threatened you with just about everything. Every possible way to threaten a human being, any way that you are injured or assaulted, I'm going to be blamed.
Yes.
Let's talk about this song. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the music.
Pretty big fans of Aerosmith, right?
To me, this feels like a very conscious attempt at being Motley Crue way past the expiration date.
Yes, I agree.
I didn't get the Aerosmith necessarily until we got to that music video, and we will get there.
There's definitely a Scott Weiland flavor to it. There's a, who am I not thinking of? Jane's Addiction feel going on here.
Ooh, we get a little Dave Navarro in here.
Yeah, just a dabble, do ya? He's got a real Perry Farrell feel.
Yes, I agree with that.
You're right, it's a harder sound. They're inspired by an 80s aesthetic, but there's influences of grunge. I wish you had heard their other hit, or at least one of their other hits, because they largely have sounded like this through their entire existence. This is not an evolution. I am all but certain if we were to listen to their 2018 album, it sounds like this.
Yeah, I'm sure. And it's 2019, Garrett. It is this year.
Came out this year?
Yep.
Stop.
It's competently played. It really feels like a cover band playing at a local dive bar.
It feels almost like a Stone Temple Pilots cover band.
A Stone Temple Pilots cover band that listened to Weird Al Yankovic, so they're going to do like a parody of it, but also they're super edgy, Garrett, so they're going to say bitch and fuck.
That's true.
The bitch makes sense. The fuck so good part, that's not...
Tim, I don't consider either of us to be terrifically prudish, right? We're not easily offended. In fact, we're easily to offend. Wait, you are offensive is what I mean.
Rude.
Well, truth hurts, buddy. But, I mean, I've heard 100,000 songs that have the word fuck in it, and that's fine. But the way he sings it in this song, Tim, I find it threatening.
Oh, you should be threatened, Garrett. He will threaten you with his sexuality.
It's gross.
Yeah, no, he's a gross guy. He is the sort of person, and again, this is what people are saying, this is not something I'm saying. He's the sort of person that's proud of his hepatitis C.
Oh, nobody's proud of their hep C, Tim.
Gruber, Garrett.
Maybe a little.
Gruber wants to tell you the story about that time he got hepatitis C.
I'm going to say some mean shit about him and this band for
Feel
the next...
free.
I know you're okay with that. So let me give him a compliment. The fact that this dude is keeping the fucking thing going, the music business is incredibly difficult, as we have cataloged on this show. The fact that he has kept a band going for as long as he has, produced this many albums, and had the level of success that he did, I mean, he's at Rocklahoma, is very impressive.
Sure.
But this song's terrible. And this is your biggest hit.
It is terrible, but I'm embarrassed to admit this, Garrett. This is bizarrely catchy.
I don't hate it, Tim. I don't hate it. I sing it a lot.
Yeah.
The music is catchy enough. It resembles enough of the things that I do like. The problem with the song is that musically it's good enough. It's well played. They are good at playing the music. His voice is irritating, but that's not what we're talking about yet. However, you could never have anyone in your car and then put this song on seriously and be like, I love this song. They will judge you.
Yeah, and they should, because this is a bad song.
Right, but if you're alone and it comes on or you search for it and put it on repeatedly, I'm not sure I can blame you. Can we get into the lyrics?
Sure.
It's shockingly sparse. If anyone hasn't heard the song, go listen to it. It's like 3 minutes long, but chances are you've heard it, and if you can only remember the hooks and the chorus, that's good enough, because there's not a lot of detail.
Let's pause to get a good listen to this.
You're right. Let's drop in some music. Here's Crazy Bitch by Buckcherry.
Hey, y'all crazy bitch, but you fuck so good I'm on top of it when I dream. I'm doing you all night.
Pretty good, right?
Not really, though. Not really. We'll get there. We'll figure it out. Okay, before we even get to the lyrics, let's talk about his voice. Haggard. Strained.
Yeah, he got hepatitis C through the throat somehow.
Tim, what is the deal with the hepatitis? Is there something you're waiting to hear about?
Gino got a good look at this guy. He was the one that actually found out that they met through a tattoo artist, and he heard the lyrics to this song. He just kept writing down hepatitis C in the dossier.
He had decided that this man also must have it based on his look and the lyrics in this song.
I mean, it's not a bad decision. It's not a bad thought.
Let me say up top, this is a song for scumbags. This is scumbag rock. Scum rock.
This is
Skok.
white trash. You know, I hesitate to even say this because this is such a crazy thought. Imagine playing this at your wedding, Garrett.
Wow.
It's the very idea is ludicrous.
Well, yeah, no, I would be embarrassed to play it in my car in mixed company.
Let's get to the goddamn lyrics.
Break me down. You got a lovely face.
Starts out nice, right? I mean,
I
he's
guess that's a
screaming
compliment.
it. He's screaming it.
Because we're going to your place, and now you got to freak me out. This sets the table for the whole song, so let's focus on it. Obviously, very pretty woman, right? And they're headed back to her place.
Well, we don't know if she's pretty or not. I mean, he thinks she has a lovely face. Okay, he's found himself a looker, I think is how we say it.
What are you, 80? Stop being 80.
Scream so loud, getting fucking laid. You want me to stay, but I got to make my way.
Is she screaming so loud, or is he screaming so loud, and is one of them literally screaming, getting fucking laid?
Interesting. I never got there. I never thought anyone was screaming getting fucking laid, but I can imagine him in the throes of ecstasy shouting, I'm getting fucking laid.
How do you think that would be received by somebody? That you just exclaim in the middle of sex, that you just celebrate, just like, I can't believe this is happening. And it's flattering, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's something everyone wants to hear, but here's the deal. It's better if it's a one-night stand. If this is something he's doing with his girlfriend or wife at this point, like I assume that this is kind of his thing. So if he was doing that whenever he first met this crazy bitch, he's possibly still doing that. He's just real excited.
Every time he just gets that excited.
Sometimes orgasms can be scary.
Okay. Said no one ever. I
mean, they can, they come out of nowhere.
Right. They sneak up on you. I know you don't like scary movies. You have conveyed in more detail than I could ever possibly want some very specific sexual encounters that I will not repeat here. But the salient point is that you do seem to be genuinely surprised, confused, and terrified at the moment of climax. I have tried desperately not to delve into the details behind that, but I am curious now that you've brought it up. It's that it surprises you.
Well, that's part of it.
That and you're not 100% sure what exactly just happened.
Right.
I know enough, Tim, to know that based on your reports, you knew how it ended when you started.
Well, no, I know how the last time ended, but who can say if the next time will as well?
I love that seeker's attitude. That is, you are an adventurer, young man.
Oh, I might have schizophrenia. I believe that's one of the symptoms.
Not being able to predict a fairly logical, similar reaction to something.
Yep.
God, that does sound like you. Tim, as you read, you want me to stay, but I gotta make my way. That's what you read. Then the very next line is, hey, you're crazy, bitch. Is he saying she's crazy for wanting him to stay the night?
I believe so.
Is this whole song, if we're to believe that, when he says, but you fuck so good I'm on top of it, he's saying, look, you want a relationship, and that's ridiculous,
well,
you
not
stupid
even
bitch.
That. Not even that. She just doesn't want to be treated like a whore whenever he leaves immediately.
Well, how does one leave immediately and not treat a woman like a whore?
Oh, you stay for their orgasm as well. Now, obviously, your orgasm has happened far before hers, but you gotta stick around and at least try.
That's better than where I thought this was going. I thought you were going to say you had to stick around and at least bear witness.
No, Garrett, no. I think all she wants, the thing that makes her crazy, is that she would just like him to stay the night. I think that's it.
Interesting. But her fuck style is in fact so buck wild.
Well, she likes to scratch
him. Don't jump ahead, Tim. All right, what are you talking about? She likes to scratch him.
Hey, you're a crazy bitch, but you fuck so good I'm on top of it. When I dream, I'm doing you all night. Scratches all down my back to keep me right on.
So is he dreaming now?
Well, I think what he's saying is that he has had his fun. He would like to go to his own house where he can dream about this without actually having to have this crazy bitch present.
Well, maybe she has a very uncomfortable bed.
Possibly. Maybe it's some sort of futon. Verse 2. Take it off. The paper is your game. You jump in bed with fame. Now, I assume she's either a gold digger or a literal prostitute. I think gold digger. I think that's...
I thought prostitute.
But the next line, you jump in bed with fame, sounds like she's not expecting it to be transactional, but she is expecting to get something out of it that is not sexual intercourse.
Okay, yeah, so she is likely a whore for fame.
Sure. She is putting out, as you like to say, for the opportunity to be this famous person's girlfriend. But then the next line is, another one night paid in full. So I think what he's done is, he's like, yeah, you'll be my girlfriend. Well, whatever. They bang. And then he leaves, and she's like, oh, you should stay. And he's like, yeah, I put some money on the counter. I'm just going to go.
No wonder she feels like a whore. Literal money on the counter.
Yep. Paid in full, Garrett.
Wow.
But she's a crazy bitch, so.
Right. Interesting. So are you saying that she went to bed with this person thinking that they were in a relationship, and then he woke up and was like, thanks, whore, and slapped some money on the desk and was just like, you can't possibly ask anything of me. I've paid you.
All of that is correct, except he never went to sleep.
Right. That's right. He does not stick around.
Yep.
Wow. Can you do that?
No. It is both illegal and immoral.
Oh, right. Prostitution's illegal.
Right.
Huh. I always forget that.
Yeah, I know you do, Greg. Oh, the Austin police never do, though.
No, they don't. They take it pretty seriously. Okay, so Tim, I think you're right. I think she's a fame whore. He has paid her money she did not expect to get. Another question, do you take that money?
He's leaving that money there. That money's in your house. You can throw it away, I guess, but who's throwing away money?
Yeah, that's true.
What's the video part about? In the bridge, get the video, fuck you so good. Get the video, fuck you so good. Crazy bitch, crazy bitch, crazy bitch.
He now wants to tape their crazy bitch sex.
Ooh.
There was rumor, Tim, I don't know if you saw any of this, there was rumor on the internets that the inspiration for this was the Paris Hilton One Night in Paris sex tape, but the band was quick to squash that.
Gruber did say they sat around and discussed it for a while, but it wasn't the inspiration for the song. What does that mean? They sat around and discussed it for a while.
I think they just talked about it once.
Did you see it? Yeah, me too.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Me too. That's basically all the lyrics with the exception of bridge number 2. It goes, baby girl, you want it all. To be a star, you'll have to go down. Take it off. No need to talk. You're crazy, but I like the way you fuck me. That's all on the up and up.
If you're the king of Hollywood. Is Baby Girl the other side of Daddy? Is that the Marco II Daddy's Polo?
Maybe. Huh.
Hey, Daddy. Hey, Baby Girl.
Oh, I don't like Baby Girl either.
I mean, how could you, Tim? God damn. As the research is beginning to show, the proper response to Daddy is not, in fact, Daddy. There is that one subsect, about 15% of the population. Outside of that, usually in a typical daddy scenario, the call might be daddy, the response is not daddy. I think it might be baby girl.
Gross.
Yep, more weird insights into the daddy culture. And listeners, if you're out there, continue to call your significant others, strangers, waiters, waitresses, presidential candidates, daddy. And
call your mommy daddy. Call your daddy mommy.
Well, let's not get crazy too. Let us know, though. This is all for science, and we want to understand what exactly is going on with this daddy culture. You want it all to be a star, you'll have to go down, take it off. So she wants to be a star. So is she trying to sleep her way to fame?
Yeah, I think she wants to be the Paris Hilton type. You know, somebody that's famous for nothing except for maybe somebody they banged.
Okay.
Or having that sweet hotel money.
I don't think she's famous for... I guess she's famous for being rich, too. And then it just repeats over and over. What do they say? Fuck me a bunch? Bitch a bunch?
Yeah, it's a classy song.
It's a really classy song. Like we said up top, this is a song for scumbags. There's a pantheon of music that sounds vaguely similar to this that doesn't have a man screaming, I like the way you fuck me, very clearly. Like, you can't roll your windows down. You can't pick kids up from school with this song on.
Oh, Garrett, wait till these Amazon comments. To me, this felt like almost a male response to Carrie Underwood's Before He Cheats. If you remember Before He Cheats, that was somebody that had built up this scenario where the guy was cheating, and it was clear that just wasn't happening.
Oh, right.
So
okay.
Here you've got somebody who's built up in their head that this person's a crazy bitch, and other than possibly scratching him, there's no actual evidence that that's actually happening, that she's actually crazy.
If it wasn't a true response to that other song, maybe she's a crazy bitch because she keeps thinking he's cheating on her.
Maybe he's cheating on her because of all that car smashing and...
Yeah, but she fucks so good he's on top of it.
Yep.
Yo, crazy Mitch. I like that song.
I agreed that this is sort of King of Hollywood adjacent with the star and the talk of the videos. It kind of seems like maybe it's a guy promising to put a woman in a music video. He maybe has no intention of doing so. There's no actual evidence that she is in fact crazy.
Oh, she wants a long-term committed relationship.
Well, no, she wants him to stay the night. Garrett, that's not too much to ask.
What a crazy bitch.
Parts of it sound like those recorded interviews you used to do. You'd interview people about their modeling career and their aspirations, and then you work to help them find agents, kind of to help their careers. But obviously, you know, there's always a small price up front for your connections, which you absolutely have. And, you know, they'd pretend to be shocked, but they knew, Garrett. They weren't as innocent as they seemed. I mean, you know, they'd moved to LA from Nebraska, so it seems like they might be innocent. But, I mean, they're clearly talented, and you've got to pay your dues. Everyone has to, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and the very first stop should be the now defunct International Modeling and Talent, etc.
Right. I mean, you think George Clooney got a role on ER without a meeting with Garrett? It does not happen.
No, it certainly didn't from 1986 to 1994.
Absolutely not. You are Hollywood's gatekeeper, Garrett. Some would even say you are the king of Hollywood.
Well, okay, hold on a minute. I was just about to tell you a juicy tidbit about the Clune dog, and then you accused me. Listen, Tim, I didn't get you the job. I got you the meeting with the guy that got you the job.
He didn't give me a job either. That was just a guy that did the same thing that you did. It's a horrible cycle.
Yeah, here's the downside. I was doing that guy a favor in that instance.
Oh.
You were the favor.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Tim, let's talk about these music videos. Did I say videos? That's right, plural. Can we start with the one that never was?
Sure.
All right, so...
Well, no, that's not true because it was. It just was rapidly recalled.
Sure. So the original music video was filmed at the Key Club in Los Angeles, which was made to look like a strip club. They held an open casting call, documented in a video on the band's website called Behind the Bitch. They recruited...
Really?
Yeah, that existed.
God damn it.
They recruited dancers and strippers for a low-budget video, which was to be directed by Ulf Budensyk.
That adds up.
Unfortunately, Tim, despite doing everything humanly possible to ensure that everybody in that room was over the age of 18, they did get sued when a girl claimed that she was only 16 and was coerced into stripping, drinking, and kissing other women in the music video. What's left out of that complaint and lawsuit is that she presented a forged identification and a forged birth certificate, which, when the fuck do you even get one of those?
Do you need one?
No, never mind. That was rhetorical.
Oh,
Jesus
then I
Christ.
don't know.
So this girl basically presented a bunch of fake IDs, and then her mother attempted to sue the band and the music company. It was unsuccessful. However, she was in fact 16, so as everyone can imagine, the video was yanked down, and they even paid a company to work to strip it from the internet. I did not actively seek out the video itself, nor do I believe Tim did either, right, Tim?
I did not.
I did, however, see a few stills from it.
Okay.
No. There's no nudity in the stills. They were just attached to a few articles I read describing the music video. Based on the pictures I saw in the description, most of the music video takes place in a men's room.
Garrett, where do you meet your crazy bitches?
Listen, if you begin your relationship with a woman in the men's room, yes, you've got yourself a crazy bitch. And she may fuck so good that you're on top of it. But in the long run, don't marry that woman.
Fair enough. Words to live by.
But you could stay the night. It's a nice thing to do. Whatever you do, don't put unwanted money on her dresser and say, thanks, no strings attached, bye. So that was the first music video, Tim, that never really was. It really just looked like a big empty club, which is what it was, with a bunch of horrible, skanky women.
Don't skank shame.
You know what, skanks? I apologize because, Tim, we've all spent an evening or two with a skank, right?
Yep. You just leave that money on the counter, make them really feel special.
Slap it on the dash of that Mitsubishi Eclipse and get on out of there. Don't pretend it's not true, whores. Why do you drive that car?
Whores and our buddy Grant in college.
Yeah, well, he was a fun boy. So that music video not only looked like garbage, it had underage women, possibly nude. If you look for the official music video today, Tim, the band starts out in a way too small jail cell to be performing.
Gruber does seem to be pressed against those bars, but it's unclear whether that's because the cell is too small or whether he's trying to get at those lady cops.
Well, lady cop, I don't think there's more than one. It's just the one. She's doing a terrible job. I've not been to jail. Do they let you keep your instruments?
Yes.
And is it customary for the jail woman who's watching you to strip and gyrate while you perform for her?
It is.
I want to go to jail.
No, you don't. You got to hang out with the rest of these silk scarf monkeys, Garrett.
They are a bunch of silk scarf monkeys.
They are a single scarf away.
You're one scarf shy of a monkey.
Yep. This whole thing reminded me kind of of an early 90s Aerosmith music video, right down to the underage girl that they were sexualizing.
That's true. At least it wasn't his legal daughter and biological daughter.
Well, sex daughter, I think, is the...
Well, the sex daughter wasn't in it. The sex daughter was kept at home for sex and heroin. See our Aerosmith episode.
Why do all of our episodes eventually turn into true crime episodes, Garrett?
Because the people that make music happen to live terrifying lives that are filled with felonies. The music video starts with them in jail, and then they seem to kind of work their way backwards, where we see them getting fingerprinted and their photos taken. Then we see them in the back of a squad car. Then we finally see them walking up to the very cop that has been gyrating and stripping for them while they perform in their tiny jail cell, writing them a ticket.
And what exactly are they in jail for? I assume it's some sort of harassment of a crazy bitch, or...
Yeah, well, I think they probably tried to assault that police officer.
I have heard police officers do not like being called sugar tits.
I can name one that doesn't. And listen, you should never call a woman that, officer aside. But it's a little endearing when Mel Gibson does it.
It is. But then he starts talking about the Jews and
right, and that's weird. Nothing endearing about that.
Yeah, just stop with sugar tits. You had us at sugar tits, Mel.
You always go one Holocaust denial too far.
Let's talk about the good video, though. The amazing video.
The video that inspired me to suggest this song for this week. Folks, we're going to have to pause again to give you just a brief moment to go watch this. And Tim, do you remember what's the best thing to Google?
Crazy Bitch Wedding March.
Folks, go to YouTube. Go look up Crazy Bitch Wedding March. If you've seen it, that's great. You know why we were doing this episode from the jump. You were way ahead of us.
Yep, watch it again.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're driving right now, it's a minute and a half. You can look away from the road for that amount of time and you will be fine. Watch it now.
Tim, great point. Watch this video.
Jesus Christ, it's uncomfortable.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It makes me feel horrible inside. It makes my insides feel like pudding.
Right.
If you didn't watch the video, we just gave you an opportunity, you obstinate fucks.
Put that baby down. Look away from traffic.
Those planes can land themselves. Watch the video. If you didn't, it is a woman.
A crazy bitch.
It's a crazy bitch dancing erotically down the aisle in a wedding dress to this song. She's not singing, right?
I don't think so, but it is a karaoke version. There is a woman singing it.
That's so important. They chose Tim not only to have Buckcherry's uncensored Crazy Bitch be the song that she would erotically dance down the aisle to, but have her good friend Vicky sing it on a terrible PA system. It might be a megaphone. Everything about this is great.
I cannot wait to someday walk my future daughter down the aisle to Buckcherry's Crazy Bitch.
I can't wait to walk you down the aisle.
Oh, we
I
should
assume
do
I'll
that.
be giving you away. To whom or what, I can only imagine.
The twerking, Garrett. She gets down. I've never used that phrase before, but it is accurate here.
She is doing stripper moves down the aisle in a wedding dress.
Yes.
While Vicky sings.
This is Florida, Garrett.
This is Florida.
The only thing missing from this is just an alligator consuming her whole when she gets to the altar.
The man filming this entire traffic accident has another gentleman in his frame with a small boy. And first, the man in frame, let's give you some context. The pleated khakis is really all I can remember.
He's a Gregory.
And he's a real Gregory. He first is amused that it's some sort of rock and roll song and she appears to be dancing down the aisle, not familiar with Mr. Cherry's work. And then when we get to Bitch, you see the first look of like, oh, goodness gracious. But it's not until you fuck so good I'm on top of it that he clutches his child in terror and is just staring at everyone in utter shock and disbelief. Just like, she can't say that. It's a wedding.
Well, the best part about this gentleman is that he's so torn. Because he wants to protect his child, but he also wants to tell people this happened. He has to get this on video. So he kind of goes back and forth. You can see him just being like, well, this if my kid hears half of this and witnesses half of this, he'll be half fucked up and I can live with that.
He can't figure out what the bigger priority is. Eventually he does succumb and he also tapes it. And I applaud him because he was offended, let alone his small child who was paying no attention and could care less.
Yeah, but
so
he got some earmuffs on that kid. It was pretty great.
He earmuffed the shit out of him. It was awesome. Then she makes her way down to her waiting groom. And the song doesn't stop. It goes on and she's dancing in front of him hard. She's dancing hard. And it goes on just long enough to where he then is like, well, all right. And he starts dancing.
Yeah, there's a moment where he's just like, well, it's awkward if she just dances at me, so I gotta get in here too.
It's awesome. And I'm gonna let you say it. The groom and his groomsmen are no typical groom and groomsmen.
Oh, Garrett, they're wearing bandanas.
They're wearing matching bandanas.
They're kid rocking this wedding.
It's beyond kid rocking. He is Bret Michaelsing.
Yeah.
The whole and every groomsman in his is a matching bandana. It's fascinating. And they're not even like fancy bandanas. They are the classic, dare I say it, cowboy bandana.
And not one of them is an alligator, which again is the most surprising part.
It isn't. The more surprising part is none of them are ashamed.
There's got to be one in the back. He's the brother. He went to Harvard. He's a sophomore. He knows his brother just fucking makes his money selling dirt weed, but this is his brother. He's going to come back to this wedding, and here's your bandana. Stand up here with me next to this alligator in a tuxedo.
Do you need any eyeliner? What?
I have not kept up with the happy couple, but taking an educated guess, they are both currently in jail for possession of meth. That was only discovered after one of them faked an injury at work to get workers' comp, and then they got caught by a private investigator hired by the insurance company, and then the husband struck his classy lady in the face in a blind rage after being found guilty in court, which knocked more meth from her pockets onto the courtroom floor.
I'm sure you got more right than wrong. After the song goes on entirely too long, it then just abruptly stops.
Oh yeah, that's bizarre. But I actually have one further fact for you. Did you look up who this was posted by?
No.
The video description for this says, "My mom dancing down the aisle, doing what she wants, having fun, and being her."
Oh my God, that poor person. Yikes. After the music stops, that is when I looked over and I saw the insanely old people. Mm-hmm. Like somebody's Nana was there.
Oh yeah.
You can't sing Crazy Bitch to somebody's Nana.
And here's the most insulting part about the whole thing. Get that Nana a bandana.
Yeah.
It's fun to say.
In a bandana. Put that Nana in a bandana. Normally I do not entertain your nonsense, but you're right. Let's get that Nana in a bandana. All right, Tim, that probably does it for the song and the videos. Let's get into some comments and reviews.
The first one is from Jerry M4. It's called Great Song, and this is from 2014. I dig this song. It's the only one I own of Buckcherry. I like the message I get from it. It makes you feel sexy.
Boy, it took a turn at the end.
Yep. It does make you feel sexy, though. In 2015, Mike said, "Absolutely love this song. It is now my ringtone."
What? That guy would not only play it in the car with you, he plays it for everyone always. Wow. That's insane.
The next one here is by CSUNCSI Kasunsi. This is called Sexy. I love this song. I play it in the car when I'm alone and blast it. So hot. One of my favorite songs. Unfortunately, can't play this when the kids are around. Garrett, before you say anything, we don't know who Kasunsi is. All that we know about this woman is that she has multiple children. That rules my mom out. However, does not rule your mom out. It's unlikely, however, it is technically possible that your mom loves this song. She thinks it's sexy. She thinks it's hot. She plays it in the car when she's alone. And she does not play it around her middle-aged son because she thinks it might be inappropriate for him. Picture your mom driving around going to whatever right-wing fundraiser she's currently attending, just rocking out to this song.
Oh, God. I hope it's true, but I doubt it. Tim, who's this for?
Bottom-tier strip clubs.
Absolutely. I think mid-tier as well.
Yeah, probably.
All strip clubs.
They're all kind of bottom to middle tier.
It's for human trash. Any way you want to slice it. It's for scumbags. It might be for us. We might be scumbags. You might be a scumbag, Tim. I don't think so. You're a pretty clean-cut young man.
Yeah, there's no way I would have an alligator as one of my groomsmen.
You gotta get off the alligator, man. Is there anything else we need to say about this before we ask the big question?
Oh, God, no.
All right. Then, Tim, I ask you, do you hate this song?
I want to. Garrett, I want to.
Wow, you don't.
Garrett, it's...
Y'all crazy, Tim, because you love this song on top of it.
I strongly dislike this song. I think it's the wedding video. I think that's what did it. That gave me so much joy. I will never hear this song and not smile a little bit.
I'm so glad we got to talk about that. It's been driving me crazy for years.
I can't help but kind of like this song. But what about you? Did you hate this? Do you hate this?
No, I don't. I can't. I'm right there with you. I love this. This made that horrible thing happen.
You are not right there with me. I did not say I love this. I tolerate it for the video. You, however, did say you love it.
No, man. No, we said the same thing. You don't hate it. I don't hate it. We definitely should, but we've got to move on. That brings us to listener mail. That's where we pick up a review, a comment, a question, an email, and each one of us read one. I'll kick it off. My email is from Trent. Hey, my name is Trent. I'm a professional wrestler from California, and I found your podcast a few months back and have loved it ever since. Thank you, Trent. Thank you for keeping me entertained on the 4+ hour drives to shows. Tim, this is why I picked this email, because the life of the wrestler is not an easy one.
That's actually why I did not become a professional wrestler. The driving.
That's it. The driving. Anyway, he continues, keeping with the theme of wrestling, I want to suggest to you the WWE Originals album where wrestlers sing, or John Cena's album. Good Lord. Keep up the amazing work, guys. Toxic Trent. Toxic Trent, I read this partially today because I want to hear more about your world. I want to understand the life of the journeyman wrestler. Like, how long are you doing this before you're taking a crack at the big leagues? I want to track Toxic Trent. We want to support you here on the show. But Tim, did you have any idea that there were WWE wrestling albums? I knew John Cena had a band.
I didn't know that. Granted, I have responded to this email, but no, before this guy wrote in, Toxic Trent, thank you. That's not going to be our next album, but I think we should do that.
Trent and other wrestlers or wrestling fans, let us know, is there a wrestling album we should focus on, or is John Cena's band where it's at? I like the idea of the wrestling compilation, because we have no idea what we're dealing with here, so this could be really strange. That's mine, Tim. What do you got?
I've got a series of messages from Facebook, Garrett.
Oh boy.
February 13th, 2018, our buddy Andy, he wanted to support the show. This was right after the Kanye West came out, and he said, my friends did a thing. Check out Why I Hate This Album with a link to our podcast page. Now, thank you, Andy. We appreciate it. So Victor posted on this, your friends did a thing. Their opinions on that specific album is equivalent to President-elect Trump condemning the NFL kneeling because they don't know the full facts. Then
so hold on, he just equated our Kanye West album to Trump and football.
Right.
Loosely. Okay.
4 minutes later, unprompted, he comments again. I don't know their music taste history. It sounds like they are bashing on an album because they are sick of what TMZ feeds them. Basically, they are hating on a work of art because they don't like it. Basically, the concept of the show.
Yeah, we hate on albums we kind of like, too.
Yep.
We just got done saying we like Crazy Bitch.
6 minutes later, unprompted, Victor replies, if that's the case, then I can totally put out a podcast with a picture of a piece of artwork and just spend some time bashing it. Just 'cause I can. 3 minutes later, Victor replies to himself, there is really enough negativity in our society. We should always be striving to push forth more positivity going forward. 15 minutes later, Victor posts, tried listening to it, got a little bit further than 5 minutes and 32 seconds in. After that, it just felt like hate listening. They come off as really privileged racist dicks that don't really understand what they're talking about. Very similar to hashtag hipster racism. 6 minutes later, Victor says,
Jesus.
hashtag Vice President Pence.
Huh?
3 minutes later, Garrett, Victor replies to himself again, it's equivalent to watching Fox News. 19 minutes later, Victor replies, I now feel that I can confidently put out a successful podcast just talking about Chevrolet automobiles in the city of Colleyville. An hour and 2 minutes later, he says, 49 minutes, 52 seconds in, they actually use the term electronica. The last time I heard that was in a Virgin record store. When was the last time you walked into one of those in the US?
Huh?
3 minutes later, he replies to himself, 50 minutes, 10 seconds in, FML, is this supposed to be for family? And then finally, Garrett, 1:33 in the morning, he says, your friend's podcast series seems to like to critique whatever major artist's big label album. It may be better if they actually delved into one of the artist/band's beginnings and went from each album leading to the ones they have reviewed. Other than that, they sound like some pompous pricks who think they know what they're talking about. Garrett.
Yes.
I did a little bit of math. All of that was posted in 2.5 hours between 11:01 on February 13th and Valentine's Day 2018.
I love that post. I love that he just kept replying to himself. I like that he's clearly very angry at somebody.
Yes.
He should talk to somebody.
Yeah.
It's funny, a lot of people really like our Kanye episode. In any event, Jesus Christ, Tim. That brings us to music news of the weird. I will start us off, Tim. Our good friend Bono was recently in the news. He has topped the list of least worthy of an honorary knighthood he was awarded in 2007's UK New Year's Honors List, which is apparently a thing. They put together a list of 5 celebrities. He's the only one I knew of, and most people voted for him as the least worthy of this honor. But I have no idea what the New Year's Honors List is, do you?
No.
It seems to be some sort of fake knighthood, which is an odd sentiment given the fact that it's 2019, and so no one is actually a knight.
Bono is not out slaying dragons, and that is, as I understand it, a requirement for knighthood.
Sure. Well, he's not even claiming to be a knight. He's claiming to be an honorary knight, just like that honorary degree he got.
Yes. I think you're thinking of Bon Jovi.
Honorary dragon.
But Bon Jovi has killed a dragon.
Oh, yeah. No, Bon Jovi's a knight.
Well, no, he hasn't been knighted, but he has done all the required things.
Tim, you know I don't recognize the monarchy.
That's true. You recognize the patriarchy, but not the monarchy, I think is how it works.
Parliament? I respect your authority. Monarchy? Tim, are you familiar with the social media app TikTok?
Nope.
So I believe TikTok was started out as something to lip sync to or possibly sing short snippets of songs to. I don't really know because I'm not 13. But what I do know is that there is currently a fad going on TikTok called a clown check. There's this weird subculture where TikTok users are using the app to create endless variations and interpretations of ICP songs, specifically one called Hocus Pocus. So much so that it's now become a meme with over 350,000 different iterations.
Okay.
If you Google TikTok clown check, you will find these videos. And the typical one goes with a girl appearing and she just goes, clown check. And then the moment the song starts, hard cut, and she's in creepy clown makeup and lip syncs to ICP songs. The reason I found it so amusing is that then if you go to the Insane Clown Posse message boards, people are pissed. And I quote, for sure, lots of fake ass yuppies, but I've seen some down ass ninjas on that shit too. But for sure, lots of whack shit where people don't know the words, said Matthew Arnett, a juggalo from Colorado. Another one replied, I have used TikTok in the past and have seen lots of people dressing the part, but very obvious they don't live the life of a juggalo or know about the culture. I myself live it 24/7, 365 a year. I attend the gathering and other juggalo events. It is what it is about the TikTok situation, but being a juggalo, I don't place judgment, and any real low will tell you the same. It just goes on and on like this, of them just arguing with each other about whether or not people should be allowed to lip sync to a song dressed in clown makeup because a different group of assholes dressed in clown makeup really like those songs.
I kind of get it.
Tim, did you know Iggy Pop has his very own brand of coffee?
Yes.
Oh, well, to the rest of you who don't like to ruin my news, the coffee arrives in a black bag designed by Iggy himself and has notes of dates, nutmeg, and a long chocolatey finish. just like Iggy Pop. In a recent survey that came out, users of AirPods reported that 17% of owners keep their AirPods in during sexual intercourse, according to a Ticket Marketplace TickPick survey of over 1,000 people. What do you think of that, Tim? We have discussed people listening to music during intercourse on the show before. We have both come firmly down in the anti-camp. Turns out some people are listening to their own hot, sweet mixes while they're getting it on.
Well, see, I kind of like that. At ACL, they do the silent disco thing where everyone's got headphones and everyone's dancing to a different beat.
Yep.
If you're banging to different music...
Interesting.
You know, that could add the dynamic. The other thing I kind of like about this is likely, very likely, given the number of listeners we have on this very show, somebody has banged to the, what do you call it, chocolatey or velvety tones of your voice?
Oh, listeners, do write in. Have you had sex to the sound of my voice? I would love to know that. Do you prefer to have sex to the sound of my voice? Are there particular words that I could say to help you climax? I'd love to know.
Say really slowly, say pepperoni.
Pepperoni.
Yeah, I think that'd do it.
What? Oh boy, I didn't realize what I'd just done.
On record.
The survey did go on to ask a few other questions, and some odd statistics came out of this, Tim. Nearly 1 in 4 folk music fans have cried during sex.
I buy that.
Fans of electronic dance music are more likely to admit to sexual fetishes than fans of other genres.
Also buy that.
Heavy metal fans are more likely to use contraceptives.
Did not see that coming.
And more than 25% of all country music fans have admitted to one-night stands. That seems probably low.
What are the Hep C statistics? Gino is, he's jabbing me with a broomstick from across the room.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you know what to do with him.
Okay. Push-ups! Yeah, he's doing them. I think he likes them now. He has pecs for days.
I've never seen a 76-year-old man with a chest like that. In other news, Tim, Tom Morello wrapped up his tour recently at the Picnic at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater in Tinley Park, Illinois. Unfortunately, at the end of the night, Morello brought some fans on stage to close out his set, just asking politely if those people would not put a cell phone in his face so they could enjoy the moment. Well, a fan chose not to listen, and without missing a beat, just walked right up to Morello and tried to take a selfie with him. Morello, whilst performing, just grabbed the phone out of his hand and hucked it into the audience.
Good for him.
When asked after the show what that was all about, he said, if you're going to come up on stage, do not bring phones.
Can I throw some more Tom Morello news at you?
Please do, Tim. What do you got for us?
Before Tom Morello raged against the machine, he claims to have been employed as a male stripper. I don't know why he needed to stress the word male there. But after graduating from Harvard with a degree in political science, he moved back to Los Angeles in 1986, could not find a job, so like a lot of us, he became an exotic dancer. In case you were wondering, his favorite song to expose his raging machine to was Brick House by the Commodores. That's Brick House by the Commodores.
You have ruined this segment for me, Tim. Any other music news?
Since CNN has established that tweets are in fact news, I have some tweet news for you. Our good friends from Portugal the Man, see episode 3, have some thoughts on our slightly less good friend K-Way from episode 4. They write, gospel albums post-Yeezus, Trump Tower, MAGA hats, Sunday service, it's all just a bid at tax-exempt status. Clearly, Portugal the Man, they've been listening. Both Portugal and the Man, they agree with us that K-Way is clearly attempting to start some sort of cult in an attempt to not have to pay taxes, or based on the Ecstasy song, he might just be trying to find some sort of legal way to bang his sisters-in-law at Thanksgiving. Some more Twitter news, Smash Mouth announced that in 1993 they wrote a song called Lorena about Lorena Bobbitt cutting her husband's penis off. They're quoted as saying, you've never heard it before because the label said no way. The song is available on SoundCloud and is remarkably boring for a song about involuntary wiener removal.
You always have the latest wiener news.
I do. Some good news though. The 2018 numbers are officially in. The UK's most played artist of 2018. You want to take a guess?
Ed Sheeran.
Absolutely.
Yes!
And their most played song was Portugal the Man's Feel It Still. So we're 2 for 2.
Yeah, I'll allow that. I've really softened on that album.
I've gone the other way. Some Genius Lyrics related news. For years, Genius Lyrics has been accusing Google of just stealing their lyrics from their website as searchable results to drive traffic away from Genius's site. They decided to set a little trap, kind of a honeypot, if you will. Genius modified the apostrophes in one song, so they alternated between, there's the kind of That one goes one way, one goes the other way. Mm-hmm. They spelled out in Morse code red-handed, so they were able to prove that Google was just literally copying and pasting from their website.
Is anything going to happen?
Oh, no. If anything, Google's lawyers will destroy Genius Lyrics.
I mean, we still get all of our lyrics information and hot tips from geniuslyrics.com. Anything else?
Yes. This is from Brennan, a.k.a. trashfire.jpg on Instagram, who owes us a punk cover of our podcast theme song. Guy Fieri, a.k.a. the lead singer of Smash Mouth and one of the two insane clowns from Insane Clown Posse, recently received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for his work promoting Flavortown, Donkey Sauce, and the Food Network.
Great news, Tim, and that brings us to my favorite part of this episode, where we announce what album we will be talking about next week. So, Tim, hit us with it. What album will we be listening to for a week straight and talking about on this very show?
We will be listening to 1996's Spice Girls' Spice.
I gotta tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Oh, I hate you already. I don't want to do this.
Oh, I don't so excited. I'm so excited. I was gonna save it for an anniversary episode or some sort of big occasion.
This was a mistake. This is why we take requests from the listeners, because this was your pick, and I hate it already. Garrett, you scrawled what I want, what I really, really want, in what appears to be ketchup or blood above my bed.
Want me to tell you which one it is?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to taste it and see if I can figure it out.
It's your blood.
Oh, where'd you get my blood?
I took it while you were sleeping. Gotcha. Tim and I like to do goofs.
That's
one of the
not
only...
a goof.
Sure it is. I goofed you, got a little blood out of you, goofed some blood out of you. And then I scrawled on your wall, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Classic goof.
Garrett?
Yep.
When you're right, you're right. I apologize.
Thank you.
Well done.
Pretty funny too, right?
Yeah.
All right. Any predictions, Tim, aside from the fact that you already regret agreeing to this?
I mean, that's basically it.
Okay. I'm excited about it, and we'll get into it next week. So, folks, do your homework. Listen to that album. Get yourself primed and ready for a Spice World reunion. Until then, though, we just want to ask, go out there, rate, review, subscribe, tell your friends. I don't know, Tim, I don't want to go crazy here, but if you want to make several copies of our show on physical formats and distribute them throughout your town, that would really help us out. Don't put yourself out, though.
If you would like to trick Guy Fieri into thinking that he has won a second star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, only for the whole thing to be a large advertisement for our show, you can do that, I think. Is that illegal?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
All right. Do
Good,
that
yeah.
then.
I mean, if you want to spray paint several doves and train them to all fly,
don't spray paint doves, Garrett.
Hand paint,
What kind of paint?
face paint, like face paint.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Paint those doves and teach them all to fly in a formation that will spell out our website or possibly the show. If you have a lot of birds, they don't have to be doves. You're gonna spray paint them, so it doesn't matter. Whether you do the bird thing or not, that's up to you. We don't want to put you out. If you've got a bunch of birds and some paint, have at it. And, I don't really care what kind of paint it is. The important thing is please share the show. That makes all the difference in the world. The numbers keep going up. That means you guys are talking about it, telling people to listen, and we really do appreciate it. Please review the show. Send us reviews. Go ahead and leave all sorts of odd reviews. We love reading them. We'll read them on the show. We love having them. Reach out to us at hatePodMail@gmail.com, or you can go to hatePod.com and click on Contact Us in the upper left-hand corner. Tell us what you like, what you don't. Recommend episodes that you'd like to hear, albums, singles, music videos.
Tell us what you want, what you really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
That was a mistake. I knew it as soon as I said it.
Yep. Yeah, you are in it, my friend. This next week is my world. It is a Spice world, and you are going to hate it. You can also reach out to us at Album HatePod on Twitter or at HatePod on Instagram. We love hearing from you. Go to Facebook.com/HatePod, and if you've been running into any issues on our website, it should be updated now. You should be able to get every episode. For Why I Hate This Album, I have been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey.
I have been the other, Tim Richardson.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. I joined the Navy, got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. Try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. No, it's a lobster murder sex thing. It's the bleaching of the rear. full assault on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides, the cover art's a mess. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Gary.